All right, what's up, team? Hopefully, you're having a freaking awesome day. Today, we're going to cover fitness foundations. Why are we doing this? Well, the last couple weeks, I've been talking to people about fitness and exercising and doing different exercises or aches and pains, and I realized there's a little bit of a gap in knowledge that is hindering people's progress, that's making fitness harder than what it needs to be. And also, like, people are doing stuff wrong candidly. They're not doing exercises correctly. So we're going to go over a couple things today, not in this particular order. I just want to make sure I cover all these things. The first one, foundational movements, what they are, how to recognize them, and make sure we're doing the foundational movements right. There's only like 4 movements, maybe 5, that if you get them right, everything else is easy. If you get them wrong, you're prone to injury, unless you ego lift, and you're going to feel like you're not doing stuff right, which sucks. Then we're going to go over some modifications, how to modify movements, whether you're injured, whether you don't have equipment, or whether you're at the gym and you're like, well, I'm waiting on this piece of machinery that my workout looks like. How do I modify this sort of thing? You're going to see how to do that in a much easier, simpler way. We're going to cover almost at the very beginning these 2 main topics here is bracing and range of motion, so that we get an idea what that looks like when we are, which the last thing we're going to cover is how to pick weights. Okay, so I'm hoping to get this done 20-30 minutes so that we can get on with life, but I'm also going to make it in depth enough to where we're all crystal clear so you know what the heck to do. Okay, first let's go over range of motion. Range of motion simply means the range that your appendage or appendages or the movement you're doing, the range that movement you're doing. So as a good example, let's say I have a shoulder press here, and I use shoulder presses today, and I'm using this weight. A range of motion is the distance that your weight is traveling. So this is a range of motion. This is a range of motion. This is a range of motion. Okay. When we're talking about doing the full range of motion, we're talking about the entirety of where the weight, where your body, the movement should travel. Asterisk on should. Why is this important to have full range of motion? Full range of motion allows you to have nice, healthy joints. Allows you to not have injury, and allows you to build muscle as effectively and efficiently as possible. Without full range of motion, you're going to have more injuries, you're going to ego lift more, and you'll likely end up not getting results that you want, which sucks. Some of range of motion, though, is going to have to hit you right square in the ego, wherever that is on you, because it might mean you have to lift less weight. Okay, so when we're talking about full ranges of motion or range of motion, that's what we mean. Right? Now let's jump over to foundational movements because I believe they tie in really nice. Ranges of motion, foundational movements go hand in hand. You want to make sure that when you're doing these foundational movements, which is a push, a pull, a squat, and a hinge, that you're doing them through the entire range of motion that the movement allows for. Okay, not more, not less, but the entire range of motion. Okay, so let's talk about push-ups first, because that's the easiest push movement I could think of, right? A push-up. So if you're to bring me down to the ground, okay, let's say your workout calls for some push-ups. And to do toe push-ups, you can only go down like this. Is this the full range of motion for that movement? No. Full range of motion is not that. The full range of a push movement is where your elbows get behind your shoulders and your arm becomes fully extended. So in this example, let this person in. In the example of a push-up, if I were to make sure I'm in the frame, yay, full range of motion of a push-up is where my elbow gets behind my shoulder and I go all the way up. So here to here. So this is not the full range of motion, right? My shoulder or my elbow is above my shoulder. My shoulder needs to be below my elbow. Is this full range of motion? No. My shoulder is below my elbow, check, but I am not all the way at the top, all the way down, all the way at the top. So in the instance that you couldn't do the full range of motion, what would you need to do? Lift less weight. In a form of a push-up, less weight would be doing like a knee push-up, doing a push-up on a bench. We'll go over modifications in a second. But so far, pretty straightforward, right? Full range of motion. What if it's overhead? Same thing. My full range of motion for a shoulder press all the way overhead looks like this. Here, all the way up, all the way down. Okay. If you're lifting weights that don't allow for the full range of motion, you need to lift less weight. Okay. Next one, squat. This is one that I see often. People are not doing squats properly. Problem. How do we do a squat properly? Without squatting properly, you're going to have knees aching, back hurting. You'd be like, oh, I'm just so old. That's why my body hurts so bad. I got to get my picture up here. I can't. One sec. Let her mute you, Stacy. Let's see. Where's my thing? Let me get myself. Okay. So, how the heck? Oh, I can't see my head. Come on. There we go. How the heck do we do a squat properly? First, feet shoulder width-ish apart, somewhere in here. Next, butt goes back, knees break. Butt goes back, knees break. Third, I like my feet a little bit wider. Third, when I squat, I'm pushing my butt back, and down to where my hips get below my knees. This is full range of motion. Not full range of motion. Not full range of motion. Not full range of motion. Full range of motion. From here, I push my butt up and then hips forward. Up, hips forward. So butt back, down, up, forward. From the front, butt back, down, up, forward. Make sense? Full range of motion. No. No. Hell no. Back, down, up, forward. Okay. So whether the weight is in the front, overhead, on your back, in a goblet position, at your sides, which I don't recommend, but fine. On one side, bands, kettlebells, dumbbells, kittens, children, logs. Squat form's the same, but back down, up and forward. Make sense? So far, are you with me? Gangster. Now, the fourth movement. So we've got pushes. Or third movement. We have pushes, squats. Yeah, makes sense. Perfect. Pushes, squats. We now need to pull. Pulling is moving weight from in front of us towards us or overhead and down. Bunch of different, again, same as pushing. I can't really show you with this one. I mean, I guess I could. I'll scooch this over. So with pulling, make sure store closed. With pulling, weights here, arms fully extended. I'm letting my shoulder go. Pull down. That didn't sound good. Oh, it's sliding. I thought it was ripping. I'm like, oh no. So here and back. Notice at the back, where's my elbow? My elbow is behind my shoulder. So is this full range of motion? No. Is this full range of motion? No. Is this full range of motion? No, my shoulder's in front. Back. Pull. All good. Okay. And even if you did overhead, I can't do overhead here, but I'm overhead now. This is a modification. Oh. So here, in this position, pull. Where's my elbow? all the way to my side. I got a hidden split stance from a fall down. All the way down. All the way up. All the way down. Shoulders pulled back. So this is not a good position. Look at my shoulder. It's all cocked up into my ear. Gross. Here. Pulling down. I did this motion today. My arms are already sore. Okay, so we got push, pull, squat. Last one we're going to cover is hinge, and then we're going to go over bracing, and then we're going to go over modifications, and then answer any questions. Hinging is the fourth movement pattern. Hinging, very similar to squatting. Feet shoulder width, okay, just inside. So my squat stance is here, probably here. My hinge pattern stance here, really close. If you need to figure it out, feet, shoulders, right on top of each other, or maybe slightly on the inside. Okay, you don't want them wide. This would be a terrible hinge pattern, like this. Okay, from here, I'm going to, very similar to the squat, but it goes back, knees break. But unlike a squat, my knees do not move now. They stay the same. I'm going to keep pushing my butt backwards. Far as I can go. Okay, ideally, you're going to get down to parallel with the ground. Now I'm going to show you the difference between doing a hinge correctly and a squat, and a hinge incorrectly. One might be a squat. So this is a correct hinge. So I'm here, butt goes back. Now notice where my butt is in relation to my heels. Do you see how my butt is behind my heels? It's this way. Butt goes down and back. Where most people get this wrong is they do a lean. When I lean forward, notice butt is right on top of my heels. Difference here versus here. See the difference? You with me on this one? If you just lean forward, you're using your back muscles to pick stuff up. And your back muscles are fairly strong, but they're like this big. Not really main movers, not stuff that moves heavy crap. You want to use big muscles, like your glutes, that are like this big. Just one set of them, but you got two others. Maximus, medius, and minimus. You got those three. And then you got your hamstrings, back of your legs. They're like this thick. And they're like really long. And there's like 3 of them. And then you have other ones. I can keep going, right? You have a lot. Whereas if you just lift with your back, you have little itty bitty guys like this big trying to lift weights. They're not meant to do that. Problem. So, full range of motion. What's the range of motion of a deadlift? Body. If you really want the super duper standard one, when your hands are down here, you should reach mid-shin, right here. If you need another example, body should be parallel with the ground. Body's parallel, or my back is parallel, right? So I'm not like this. I'm not up here. That's not parallel with the ground. That is parallel with the ground. Okay? And then all the way up. So would this be a deadlift? No. Would this be a good morning? No. Would this be a good morning? No. Not full range of motion. So if you have to lift lighter weight to do the full range of motion, do that. Okay? Those are the 4 fundamental movements. Now, just in one of them, just in the hinge, you have a deadlift. Sweet. You have a good morning, which is a deadlift's down here, weights down here. A good morning is up here. You have a back extension, the machine that wiggles you around. You have a kettlebell swing, which is an explosive hinge. You have jumping. Well, that's broad jumping. Hinge. Right? You have so many different things you can play with. Okay, so you have multiple things that these foundational movements build upon. And they also come into together, right? Like you could argue that like a jump is a squat and a hinge at the same time. Hinge, squat. Okay, so anyways, that's the foundational movements. If you don't get those things right, you're going to fall apart. How do you make sure you're doing it right? One, if you need to, video yourself. Have a video of you doing it. No harm, right? Second one is if you feel like you're doing it wrong, send a video and send it to me. Lady the other day sent me a video doing a movement wrong. And it wasn't even far wrong. It was just wrong enough to where she said, I don't feel this. This is boring. It's lame. I'm like, oh, I see exactly why you'd feel that way. Here's how you change it. Here's how you do it to fit what you actually need. So we could do those things. The third one is making sure that when you're doing squats, push-ups, sit-ups, you have different cues. A cue to make sure you're doing a squat properly. Is your butt going back and down, up and forward? If you say in the video, and you're like, I don't see it, make sure you do that. Easy fix. Hold your big toe up. It's really hard to go on your toes when your toe's up. You'll fall forward. So making sure that you have your big toe up. If you need that cue to send your butt back, do that. Push-ups, making sure your body's nice and flat so you can go all the way down, all the way up. But most importantly, if you're not sure of form, just let me know. Send me a message. Now, when we're looking at the next piece, which is modifications, how can we modify movements to fit what our current goals are? Or if we're at the gym, not sure how to do a movement, or if we're waiting on equipment, what can we do? Let's take a good example of like a chest press machine. Chest press machine, you're sitting down in the machine, you got the handles here, you press it this way, okay? What movement is that of those patterns we talked about, the 4 foundational patterns? What pattern is that? We've got squat, hinge, push, pull. Push up. It is so it's a push, right? Push and pull separate. Pull is where weight's coming towards you. You're pulling weight towards you, right? So you can manipulate gravity, or a machine manipulates gravity in such a way that like this is a pull, but this is a pull too. If a band is this way, pull. If a weight's down here, pull. It's the same movement, right? So it's a push. Okay. So we see chest press machine taken. Shoot. What can we do? We can do a push-up. Pushing weight away. We could go get dumbbells and do a dumbbell chest press. We could do like a barbell chest press. You could do table chest press. So these are just things that if we didn't have the machine, let's say the machine's not there. Well, let's say for fun, machine's not there, can't use that. Not there, can't use that. And we're like, all right, magically, the place we're at, none of these are available. And you can't do a push-up on your toes. Now what? Now what the hell do we do? We do a knee push-up, right? So a knee push-up. And why is the knee push-up easier? Is it's the same weight you're lifting over a shortened fulcrum. Kind of like if you pick up a broom in the middle, pick it up easy. If you pick up a broom at the end and try to pick it up this way, a lot harder. It's the same weight in the middle as it is at the end. It's just now all of the weight is in the front and it takes up a lot longer space. Same with the push-up. Okay, your body's moving the same load, same distance, right? It's just longer lever that you're pulling it from, toes to your hands, relative knees to your hands. Okay, so you can do that. What else could you do? can do a push-up on a bench. Same range of motion, but now we're moving your center of gravity lower. So it's kind of like if you have the broom again, you're grabbing towards the end where the bristles are, the heavier part. If you grab that end versus the middle, it's even easier. Why? Because you move the center of gravity forward. Or if you put weights evenly on each side of the broom. Grab from the middle, a lot easier than if you grab from the edge. Right? Same thing. Is instead, we're picking up the end that has less weight now because your center of gravity is lower. So it's even easier. Don't worry about the nerdy shit of it. That's just how it works. Okay? So you can do like a table push up. And so you can take the same workout and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different movements. And there's plenty more. I'm not going to get into it. Right? By changing equipment, by going from weighted, let's say a machine, to body weight, from body weight to free weights, from free weights to barbell, from barbell to cables, from cables to knee push-ups because of load, not being able to lift as much, and then that to table. And if you want to, you can do wall push-up if you're like super duper out of it. Like if you're incredibly unfit. So we could take somebody that's brand spanking new to the game, like Karina, who just joined today, take her, hasn't been working out for a bit, and me, do the same workout and get just as and work it just as challenging. Because maybe I will do the same machine that she does, I'll lift more weight. Hey, okay, hopefully, right? Karina's pretty tough. So, while you guys are here, I want you to comment some stuff. What if you're actually? Let me do one more example, and I'll give part of an example, and I want you guys to help me come up with some ideas. Okay, let's say that your workout calls for lunges. Like, oh snap! What's a lunge? What movement pattern is a lunge? If you had to guess. Think about what your hips are doing. Obviously, we know it's not push and pull. But is it a squat? Or is it a hinge? Hinge. What do you think, Tia? Hinge. It's a squat. Check this out. Check this out. Back, down, up, forward. If you just looked at it from the side, this leg, don't worry about what the other leg's doing. Doesn't it look like I'm squatting? Oh, snap. It's a freaking squat, dude. Lunges are squats. So, if let's say you're doing lunges, body weight lunges, and you're like, this hurts. This is really tough. What can you do? Side to side. What do you mean by that? Like something like this? But full range of motion for a squat. Yeah, cool. So you could do side to side squats. You could, 100%. Because it's a squat pattern, right? Same squat pattern. You can do regular squats. They're too challenging. If you wanted to work one leg at a time, here's something that's going to blow your mind. Step up is a squat. What is a step up doing? My butt's already backwards and down. When I do up, when I come up and forward. It's a freaking squat. Step up is a squat. Goodness sakes. So you can do a step up. Oh snap. What if, yeah, pretty sweet. What if body weight lunges are too easy? Now what do we do? What's some stuff we can do to make it more challenging? Add weight and dumbbells, 100%. So if you want to make it harder, you can add weight. For sure. You can add complexity, meaning you can do it with one leg. You guys heard of Bulgarian split squats before? Same thing, right? My one leg's just higher now. So you can do a split squat by adding some complexity. Even without weight. Then you can add weight. You can do two things, split squat and add weight. You can do a weighted step up. You see how we can make these things kind of mix and mingle? The importance about following the workouts is obviously if you have access to all of that stuff, gangster, best, okay? But the importance is making sure you're following the same movement pattern if you need to deviate, if you need to change. So if you needed to do like lunges, my knees are killing me today. Like some days when I have a bad back day, like I'm squatting. The next day, like tomorrow, I got to do legs. And so I might go like, oh, dude, I'm squatting. I might even do legs tonight, so I don't have to do it tomorrow. But I'm like, cool, I'm going to go squat it out. I'm going to go. And then I wake up in the morning like, oh, dude, my leg is way numb. My back is killing me. Not going to do that. But I still need to hit legs. Well, what can I do? I don't have to do squats. I can do lunges where I don't have so much weight and it's just more challenging. More weights on one leg. I could do split squats. I could do leg press, which is a squat, right? It's a lunge. Same thing. I could do that. There's so many options, right? As long as I'm staying in the vein of what the movement pattern is, all in, we're good. We can totally play. But if we start going, well, it says chest press, but I want to work glutes again. It's like, yeah, dude, now you're not even close. Now you're just fiddle farting around. So far, does this make sense how to modify stuff, right? If you want a synopsis, Cliff Notes version is to make something more or less challenging, you can add weight, plus or minus. You can add complexity, as in, what do you think is harder body weight wise, a squat or a lunge? If you had to guess. Lunge, for sure. Because you got one leg behind the other one. What do you think is harder? Step up, the hardest one. Step up, squat, or lunge. Say the step up's that high. Step up, squat, lunge. I would argue step up's harder. You have more, you have less of one foot on the ground. So it's mostly one leg dependent. Lunge, somewhat two leg dependent, but it's farther apart. This is dependent, right? They're good, right? So they're right underneath you, so it's a lot easier. Okay. So now what do you think's harder? Lunge, side lunge. Both are squats. Which one do you think's harder? Oh, you think a regular lunge is harder than a side lunge. If you were to hold a piece like this, one leg has to be straight, the other one's down. This leg's doing more work. If you go like this, both legs can do work. Trying to push off of this muscle here to push yourself up is really challenging. I would argue a side lunge is harder. Now, maybe preferentially, you're like, lunges are just challenging, and maybe it's harder, but if you put 30 pounds here in a side lunge versus 30 pounds in a regular lunge, I would bet that the side lunge is more challenging. If you get the full range of motion, if you can get all the way down, if I can today, down here. So you're down the bottom position. Let's see if this one's good. Oh, this one's a lot better. Okay. So you can add complexity. You can add weight. There's other ones, but these are the easiest ones. Or you could take it away. So if you're doing a lunge, taking away complexity would be squatting, because now both feet are underneath you. Right? You can add complexity by maybe lunging is too easy, adding weight is too hard. You don't have weight. You can walk. It's a lot harder to walk. Or you could do jumping lunges, right, by adding a plyometric. Or taking it away. So if a split squat's on your workout, you're like, I have nowhere to put my foot, do a lunge with weight. See how you can play these things and mix and mingle them? So you don't even need to know the movements or the names. It's nice to know, but you don't need to know them. You can go, okay, this workout is calling for a press. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like, gonna go get some dumbbells and push in that same way, where it's challenging to push weight away from me. Cool. Thanks, sir. Now, bracing and how to pick weight. Bracing, biggest one. This is like a key thing that I think so many people get wrong. Bracing, when we're talking about bracing your stomach, we want to talk about protecting your spine from doing funky stuff when it shouldn't be doing funky stuff. Like when I have weight on my back, I don't want my spine to go like this when I'm squatting, or to go like this when I'm deadlifting, to where my back gets hurt. So to properly brace would mean not allowing your back to move when it shouldn't move. To do that incorrectly, what most people say to do is what? Suck your stomach in and then tighten your abs. It looks way nice. Look at how lean I look when I do that. Oh, it's so comfortable. It makes me look lean. But do that now. Suck your stomach in and tighten your abs. And then try to move around. I can move around a whole bunch when I'm doing that. If the point of bracing is to make sure your body doesn't move around, probably a bad formula. Probably something you shouldn't do. Because you're moving around all over the damn place. It's really hard. So what you want to do instead is you want to actually do the opposite of that. This looks super sexy, so be ready. You're going to push your stomach out and then tighten your abs. So while you're pushing out, you're going to pull your abs in same time. So now try to move around. T says, harder move for sure. Yeah, big time. Big time. And so when you're doing stuff that demands weight on you, don't suck your stomach in because it'll fumble around. Push your stomach out, abs nice and tight. Again, it looks super sexy and cute. Okay, but it's going to protect your spine. So when you're doing deadlifts, squats, overhead presses, so you're not doing this. Benching doesn't matter. You're doing curls. When you're doing tricep extensions. Right. Bang, bang. Okay. That's how to brace. Super important. Lastly, how to pick weights. Tia before this was talking about machines. That's pretty gangster. That you can go on there, put maximal effort on it, and then it'll tell you how much weight you should lift within a given set rep range. How it does that is it figures, let's say, okay, you're doing chest press, you're on the thing, you're pushing as hard as you can. Let's say your maximum output's 100 pounds, just for fun. Okay, that's the maximum output you did. It takes that number as your 1 rep max, and then there's a formula you can put it in to determine how much weight you should lift for any given rep range. So let's say you're shooting for 8. At 100 pounds, if that's your 1 rep, 8 should be somewhere in the ballpark of like 70, maybe 65-ish, somewhere in there, okay? So you can do that, and you have that, it works, that's great. The caveat is that lifting one time really, really heavy has far less to do with your overall strength and has much more to do with technique. So let's say somebody's like the difference between, actually, here's a fun fact. Way long time ago, I was at the gym and I couldn't lift. I was squatting and I couldn't lift 305 for a squat. Right, couldn't do it. Like I had the thing on the bar, couldn't do it. I failed. Right, so I had to. And when you fail in a squat, everyone hears it, right? The bar goes clang, and then everyone's like, "Holy shit, what happened?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was me. Dang it." So I had to take the weights off both sides, like, because it's like 3 plates, right? So it's 315 is what it was. So took the 3 plates off, or 2 plates off, went to the other side, took 3 plates off, went back over here, took the other plate off. It was a moment. But I was like, I think I got it. I put 315 back on the bar, and then I put 10 more pounds, so it's 325, and I got it for 1. It wasn't because I'm weak at 315 or strong at 325. It was that when I went down on 315, I went down wrong. My technique wasn't good. I think when I went down, I maybe like bent my knees first too early, or I wasn't braced properly or something. And when I had heavier weight, it wasn't I just got 10 pounds stronger. It's just I picked up heavy enough stuff. So take that, use it, get you in the ballpark. It's kind of like when you go to the optometrist and you get the whole thing. If you go to the optometrist, there's like a hot air balloon that they like try to get in focus. It gets you in the ballpark. So use that. But if you don't have that, then what do? You're gonna go to the gym or go pick your weights or whatever. Let's say it calls for 8 to 12 repetitions. You do your warm up, you do some warm up stuff. And let's say you go to the bench or chest press or whatever, and you go, okay, I've got my weights on the bar. I'm gonna put 50 pounds on the bar. I'm gonna do 12. You're gonna ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being so dang hard I couldn't lift the stupid thing, way challenging, have nothing left in the tank, very hard. 1 being like that, I didn't even feel it. Like I'm even questioning if I'm in the gym right now. Okay, where did you line up? And you can't use 7. So scale 1 to 10, can't use 7. Like, all right, that was like a 5 for me. Cool. Don't even count it. Too easy. You want to land above 7, which is why you don't use 7. Okay? Above 7. So let's say you put 165 on there. You do it like 10 times. And you're like, for the last one. Scale 1 to 10. Where is that at? Oh, I was like an 8. Perfect. Maybe a 9. Sick. So let's say you did that. And you did like 65 pounds for 10. 65 pounds for 10, 65 pounds for 10, because you have 3 sets. Follow me in this little story we have. If you did a workout that you did maximal effort, you did as hard as you could, like 8 or 9 out of 10, do you think within a 1 minute gap or like a 2 minute gap, you can give 9 out of 10 effort again with the same weight you just lifted? No, absolutely not. So one way you can see it is on scale 1 to 10, am I at? Now to doubly check this, your sets and reps should look ugly. What do I mean by ugly? If you have, we're going to use a bench as the example, or actually use curls as the example. Okay, let's say you did curls. Your workout calls for 8 to 12, and it's 3 sets. Okay, and let's say total load, meaning like 10 and 10, or 15 and 15, that would equal 30 pounds, right? So total load, you did 30-pound curls for 12. The next set, after resting, maybe do 30 for like 11. You couldn't squeak that last one in. Dang. And then the next one, let's say you did, actually say it's 4 sets, because I'll prove the point here. 4 sets. 30 for 8. And you're like, I barely got that. Like I couldn't. There's no way. I was tough. 30 for 8. Now what do we do? Because we're at the bottom of our rep range. Cannot do more. You're looking at 30-pound dumbbells, and you're like, this feels like the dentist. I don't think I can lift this stinking thing. What do we do? Lower the weight. Yeah, lower the weight. 100%. So let's say like you're talking about before, Tia, where at the gym they have these little bricks that are like in betweeners. Maybe on your thing it goes from 25 to 30. But if you picked up 25, you're like, oh, it's way too easy. Cool, go 25 plus the mini brick, which is 2.75 pounds. So you do then 27.5, and maybe you get 10. That's ugly. That looks gross. But that's exactly what your workout should look like. It shouldn't look nice and pretty and cute and look at me, I fit nice in the box. No. Maximal effort is going to mean that it's going to look ugly. But it also proves that you're pushing yourself and doing maximal effort. Kind of nice. Makes sense? So there's two ways you can tell. Way number one is or three ways. If you got a machine like that, gets you in the ballpark, play with it. It might be right. It might be right. Get you at least close. But if you don't have access to that, you can go, okay, I'm going to go pick a weight. Let's say I picked the first set. It was 25 pounds and I did 12. I'm like, dude, way too easy. Don't even count it. Don't even count it. It's not a working set. Too easy. And by us tracking our weight, we'll be able to look and go, oh yeah, last time I did 25 for 12. Now it's too easy. Or let's say that you did 30 for 12. I go, snap. I probably should start with 35 and see if I can hit 8. And if you hit 7, that's fine. Still track it. Because the next time you do it, you're like, oh, snap, I only got 7. I'm going to shoot for 8 this time. And then I'll go to 30, or then I'll go to 32.5 or something. Does that make sense? It's much more like fitness is much more about effort given, not by always landing in the perfect box. Right? Today is an example. I overshot my weight on a workout. Overshot it. I was trying to be cool, trying to be tough. And I grabbed big weights. And I was like, cool, I'm going to hit 5. 1. Oh no. 2. Oh no. Dude, I might get 3. 3. Oh, okay. Cool. Undershot it. Shoot for 5. Got 3. Still counted it. Still my set. I just went lighter weight. Didn't hit 5. Make sense? With this stuff, helpful. Is there anything that I could be more clear on, give you some more guidance on, to make sure we're kosher, to make sure we're good? For those of you guys who aren't here, I'm going to end the recording. For those of you guys who are here, we can keep it moving.